What is up, my butter biscuits? Within today's video, we're going to be talking about Sephora yet again. If you guys did not see, I recently made a video that Sephora was receiving a lot of backlash because people on TikTok as well as Twitter were calling them out because they reached $10 billion in sales and all they were doing was passing out cookies to their employees. And I'm like, y'all, how do you guys make $10 billion in sales and only give out a stale, cheap cookie? I'm like, at least give a pizza party. You know what I mean? And on top of that, too, I am so sorry, but I feel like it's just like a slap in the face to give a cookie. Like, I wouldn't even want a cookie at that point. I'd be like, how about you just take your $10 billion in sales and I'll just go back to work? Like, don't try to give me a cookie. And then on top of that, too, if you guys didn't check out that video, which I really do recommend you do so, they had put at the bottom of it, like, this is confidential. Like, don't put this out there. I was like, why are you putting in there that it's confidential? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you were proud of you giving out a cookie, you would say like, oh, let everyone know we're a great company to work for. But no, they didn't want it out there because they didn't want people to see, oh, we're making $10 billion in sales and you guys get a cookie for it. Anyways, within today's video, we're going to be talking about Sephora yet again because y'all, it is going viral on TikTok right now that these tweens that go in there are kind of like losing their mind, y'all. Like, first of all, it's been going viral on a hot minute now for like tweens going into TikTok, going viral on TikTok for going into Sephora and like buying Drunk Elephant and buying like Rare Beauty and things like that. And people are like, oh my gosh, like there's just way too many like 11-year-olds and 12-year-olds going into Sephora trying to purchase makeup, and they're like doing all types of damage to the display units and like really demolishing the product. So a lot of people are frustrated at that. Well, now within today's video, we're going to be talking about a couple of little girls going in there and putting on darker complexion foundation and basically doing blackface. Now, I want to say when I first saw this clip, I was like, oh, they're kids. Like, maybe they don't realize what they're doing. But y'all, they were there with their mom. And their mom was sitting there just like defending them and like letting them do whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, like, oh, I understand that kids obviously can't put two and two together and sometimes they don't think. And hey, maybe they're not educated to know that this is offensive. But the fact that the mom is there, I'm going to play the TikTok within today's video. I couldn't find the original clip. It seemed like it was deleted, but a lot of people did stitch it. So therefore, I'm going to play a stitched video of it today. But y'all, I am so sorry. Like, I was like, okay, hey, I'm about to give the benefit of the doubt because I'm like, they're kids. Maybe they don't know better. But the mom, y'all, the mom is literally like sitting there defending them. Like, a Sephora employee went up to her and was like, hey, like, this is like not okay, you know? And she seemed irritated about it. And I guess the person that was recording the video too, the mom ended up going up to her and saying, hey, can you delete that? I don't want that video out there. It's like, why would you not coach your kids on telling them, hey, this is offensive, you can't be doing stuff like that? Like, y'all, and also too, this is alleged, by the way, because I guess this part wasn't caught on video. You guys will see when I play it, but it's also being alleged that they put on the darker complexion foundation and were making like animal sounds. I'm like, how do you not know? Like, I understand they're kids, okay? My whole thing is the mom. Like, I'm so sorry. If that was my kid, I would be mortified. I'd be like, what are you doing? Get a makeup wipe. This is extremely offensive. And school them. Give them an educational moment right here and say that this is offensive for X, Y, and Z reasons. You know what I mean? Like, I understand if there were just kids in there playing on their own that they didn't realize. You know what I mean? But the fact that the mom was there just took it over the top to me. So we're going to be talking about that within today's video, as well as I'm going to be reading an article too, because y'all, it is making headline news about all of these kids that are going in there and even displaying, or not displaying, but like destroying the display units, and people are getting fed up of it. But then there's a side of the internet too that's just kind of like, you know what, no, like, when I was that age too, I wanted to go into Sephora, but I'm like, oh my gosh, like, these kids need some home training. Like, if you're going in there and you want to test out a product, don't demolish it, don't break it. Also too, I guess they're like taking, like, say for example, like a lipstick and like drawing on the damn display unit. I'm like, y'all, I am so sorry, but I just would not have the patience to be a Sephora employee right now. I would like lose my mind if I saw a kid in there drawing on a display unit. I'm like, damn, like, who's your parents? Like, are they not training you, you know? Anyways, we're gonna be talking about that within today's video. Also, don't forget that I do have a new podcast that'll be linked down below. Make sure you guys go show some love over there. I would appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about right here is these girls showing up to a Sephora. And y'all, I am so sorry, but this to me is just so ignorant. Do you know what I mean? The fact that they are there with their mom, and the fact that this happened in Boston, because I did see some people commenting online like, oh, maybe this was in a different part of the world, you know, because at first there was several different like clips of it, so people only saw a small portion of it. They didn't get to see the full video to where it was actually located and to see that they were there with their mom, you know. So there was little clips of it being put out there that like, oh, they're teens in there, so maybe they made the mistake of like doing this because they didn't know any better. And then also people people were like, oh, well, maybe they're from a different part of the world to where they're not educated about this. You know what I mean? But no, y'all, turns out they are there with their mom. They are in Boston, of all places. And I'm like, y'all, this to me is just so crazy, because you guys will see a little bit of a clip right now. I really wish that I could play the full original, but it was deleted, and I don't know why it was deleted. But basically, a lot of people were doing, you know, stitches to it, because a lot of people were saying that the Sephora employee handled the situation really appropriately and asked them to stop doing that. And then, y'all, this person who was recording the video, after like recording, the mom went up to her and said, you need to delete that footage because they didn't give consent to being filmed. But y'all, you don't even need consent when you're in a public place. So it's like, y'all, this to me is crazy. Like, it just seemed to me, maybe I'm misreading the situation or something, but it seemed to me that the mom really didn't care. Like, it seemed like the mom just couldn't care less, and it's like, oh my God, why are you guys making a big deal about this? And it's like, do you not see what your daughters are doing? Like, you know, and on top of that too, it's being alleged that they were making monkey sounds inside the video too, or inside the store, sorry. But on video, I guess you couldn't hear it. But I'm just like, the fact that you're doing all that, it's like, oh my gosh, y'all. I have to say, I understand that these are young kids, and I know obviously at that age they are probably, you know, not that, you know, smart, and they don't know everything. I totally get that. But I feel like the mom being there, this would have been a perfect opportunity for her to say, hey, you need to cut that out. You need to like not do that, and this is why you can't do it. It would have been a really good, you know, learning lesson for them, in my personal opinion. But I just don't know, like the mom, maybe she's also ignorant. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I do want to go ahead and play this little TikTok right here so that way you guys can see it. Once again, this is not the original. The original is deleted. This is a stitch basically of the original. So go ahead and check it out.
These Sephora girls have made many people mad for painting their faces black and then doing monkey noises.
I'm so sorry.
This is so shameful. This is so shameful. Like,
We don't.
People have expressed their frustration as doing blackface is considered both offensive and disrespectful, especially during Black History Month. Many are blaming the mother for her teenage daughter's behavior and demanding an apology. This woman that works as a vendor seller at Sephora intervened and stopped them, and many are tagging Sephora not to fire her.
I'd recommend reading up on minstrel shows. It's a very shameful thing this country did, degrade and dehumanize Black people.
The woman who shared this video said she witnessed the group of girls using makeup samples of black shades while making animal sounds and painting their faces black. After she stopped filming, the girls' mothers came and pressured her to delete the footage, stating they didn't consent to be filmed. This happened at the Prudence Center in Boston, Massachusetts. This is an ongoing case.
As y'all can see from right there, I am so sorry. Like, I just think it's so crazy. What just takes it over the top for me is the mom. Like, I feel like this is your opportunity to teach your kids, coach your kids, train your kids. And she just, y'all, was not doing it. You know, I have to say, like, to me, it's low key, like, people like that, you know what I mean? They give everyone a bad image, because it's like, okay, I understand if your kids are, y'all, let's just keep it real. Kids are ignorant, okay? And I feel like, hey, there's even people who, like me, y'all, for the longest time, I didn't know about X, Y, and Z. Like, y'all, just keeping it so real with you guys. And we talked about this before, like on the podcast. Like, I want to say I barely learned like what pronouns were like within the past 3 years. You know what I mean? So you can call me ignorant on that too. I could say that a lot of us in life are ignorant, which is fine, but it's all about how you learn from it. Do you know what I mean? If I said something in public that I had no idea was offensive, and somebody came up to me and politely said, hey, like, just to let you know what you said was offensive, I'd be like, oh, why is it? Can you tell me? Like, I'm so sorry, you know, can you educate me on this? You know, I would really appreciate that. I feel like if this mom genuinely didn't know that this was wrong, if you have people around you telling you that this is offensive and wrong, and then you have a Sephora employee coming up to you to tell you that this is wrong, maybe this is your time to learn that this is wrong. Do you know what I mean? But it really just seemed like she low-key was like doubling down on the situation and was just kind of like, oh, you guys are being a bother to me, you know, and then asking to delete the video. It's like, okay, clearly you have to know that something was wrong if you want this video deleted. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, y'all, let me know your thoughts and opinions about that. I'm so sorry, but I'm just like mind blown by the mom, because I just feel like, girl, get it together. You know what I mean? Anyways, I do want to go ahead and move on to the next topic here that's still pertaining to Sephora, and that is all the like tweens that are taking over Sephora. And it does seem like a lot of shoppers are bothered by this. People are actually commenting in Sephora's comment section saying that, oh, maybe you guys need to have like a 16 or 15 and over age limit, which I feel like I don't think that would really work out, because there is a lot of moms that shop at Sephora with their kids, and obviously they're not going to have any type of way to like regulate that, you know. But I do want to read this from the scarymommy.com. So this is what the person said right here. When I was a kid around 11 or 12, I was begging my mom to wear makeup. She compromised with some drugstore lip gloss and clear mascara. These days it seems like, thanks to social social media and influencer culture, tweens are begging their parents for hundreds of dollars worth of drunk elephant skincare and rare beauty makeup. These are products meant for adults, and yet the popular beauty product retailer Sephora is now crawling with tweens. One TikTok user went viral for her call to action against this tween invasion, joking that she needs a 21 plus Sephora store where no young kids can infiltrate her shopping experience. Sephora needs to actually shut down for just a little bit, Megan Lacey jokes. The amount of 12-year-olds, I'm talking like 10 to 13-year-olds in there, like taking up every single section of the store, is actually outrageous. And I know people have already talked about this, but every time I go in Sephora now, there's always like a group of them surrounding an employee talking about products, and employees literally like it's actually retinol, like you actually don't need that. Speaking of skincare specifically, and especially with retinol, there is so many dermatologists getting onto TikTok and saying, these little kids, like, you are not meant to be using these products. You're going to do actual damage to your skin by using this because they're not age appropriate. And I'm like, yo, I just can't believe that people are letting their kids up in there like that. You know what I mean? At that age, I get it, of course, especially with social media. Like, oh, a kid's going to want to wear a lip gloss, you know? But it's like, just get a lip gloss. Get it from the drugstore. Like, why do you need Sephora, you know? I don't know. Lacey understands young people have an interest in makeup and products that enhance their appearance as they enter puberty. That's totally normal. However, the skincare craze that young kids, tweens in particular, are eating up is not normal, according to Lacey. Like, I didn't even look in the direction of the Sephora skincare until like now that I'm like 22. Like, I don't really understand. It's so crazy too, because I remember that I didn't get into makeup till I was like 17. So I'm like, it's crazy to think that there is like 10 to 13-year-olds in the Sephora stores. It's like kind of crazy. She then blames influencer culture and popular TikTokers like Alex Earl, who have large followings of tweens who look up to her, aiming to purchase the same products that she uses, noting they need to answer for their crimes. Obviously joking, by the way. She says her experience shopping in Sephora is now ruined thanks to gaggles of young people disrupting her experience in the store. I literally go in there to walk around and take makeup recommendations from my employee crush who works there, and I can't even do that in peace now because I'm like shoving around with the literal 12-year-olds, she joked. Lacey's comment section was filled with TikTok users agreeing with her notion that shopping at Sephora is no longer a peaceful experience thanks to a group of young people. Y'all, and this does go on a little bit more and more, but basically on the same premise as far as young kids in there shopping for retinols and products that are just meant for adults. And I am so curious to know what your guys' shopping experience has been like at Sephora since this whole takeover. I have seen countless, and I mean countless TikToks on my For You page of all these little kids shopping at Sephora. And I just think it's so bizarre because just a couple years ago, I didn't see all these like young tweens in there, you know? I totally get it when you're like 13 years old, you know, like wear like a mascara and a lip gloss, you know, but like to like be going into a full routine, I think that's kind of crazy in my personal opinion. But obviously I know as a, like, you know, people out there, if they're like, hey, if I want my kid to wear makeup, they can wear makeup. Like, I totally get that. You do you. I just feel like it's a bit much in my personal opinion. Anyways, y'all, I want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions about everything. What do you guys think about the first portion of this video? What do you guys think about the mom? Like, am I crazy? Am I misreading the situation, you know? And honestly, and I'm being like, y'all, I'm so open and I'm so transparent because I know that I often at times can be a very ignorant person. I'm not educated on a lot of things, and I know that. But I just feel like if I was approached with something, you know what I mean, that I was wrong about, like, I'm going to be open ears and be like, oh, how did I, you know what I mean? How can I learn from this? And she just seemed like, oh, whatever, you know? That's crazy to me. Also, what do you guys think about the tweens taking over Sephora, and how has been your shopping experience since that? Because I have to say, like, honestly, y'all, I'm just kind of lazy, and like 9 times out of 10 I order online. So let me know what you guys think in store. Make sure you guys let me know your full thoughts and opinions about everything. Also, don't forget to check out the video too where I talked about Sephora giving out that cookie, because I'm sorry, y'all, they're not looking too good. Anyways, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.